Good afternoon, everyone. I will be discussing Chapter 4, 5, and 6 summary. Chapter 4 talks about connecting through verbal communication. The importance of language. Language is a structured system of signs, sounds, gestures, or marks that is used and understood to express ideals and feelings among people within a community, nation, geographic area, or cultural tradition. This chapter also talks about the elements of language, which are sounds, words, grammar, and meaning. Words have denotative and connotative meanings. Words can be concrete or abstract. Words can be specific or vague. Language-based barriers to communication. Meanings can be misunderstood, which means and what is heard and understood by the listener often differ. Misunderstanding between a sender and a receiver is called bypassing. Language can shape attitudes. Language can cause polarization. Language can be sexist or homophobic. We all know that culture affects language use. Each language has its own grammatical rules, and some seem very strange to new speakers of a language. This chapter also talks about how to use language effectively. Chapter 5, Connecting through Nonverbal Communication. This chapter, nonverbal communication, which is all behaviors, symbols, attributes, or objects, whether intended or not, that communicate messages with a social meaning. Nonverbal communication includes tone of voice, facial expressions, posture, gesture, and appearance, all of which communicate messages. Nonverbal communication can be primary means of expression related to culture and ambitions. There are several types of nonverbal communication, which are eye behavior, facial expressions, which show emotions, and body movements. Physical characteristics include touch, space, time. Also, paralanguage and vocalists include silence, artifacts, and environment. My Chapter 6 summary. Connecting, listening, and thinking in the communication process. This chapter talks about to become an effective listener and a result an effective respondent. You have to have good listening and hearing skills. Effective listening includes the hearing stage and the understanding stage. The hearing stage requires the listener to focus attention on the speaker, discriminate among sounds, and concentrate. The understanding stage, which is also called the comprehension, and simply means that you assign meaning to the stimuli you hear or otherwise perceive. The remembering stage, which is when you are recalling something from stored memory. The interpreting stage is the process of understanding the meaning of the message from the speaker's point of view, of and letting the speaker know that you understand. Then we have the evaluating stage, which is the listener analyzes evidence, sorts facts from opinions, determines the intent of the speaker, judges the accuracy of the speaker's statements and conclusion. Chapter 6 also talks about the functions of listening, which are listening to obtain information, listening to evaluate, listening with empathy, and listening for enjoyment. This chapter also talks about listening and technology. Technology can be used to students' advantage if it is used as a tool. Last, while listening to the media, listeners must remember to think independently. And that is my summary of Chapter 4, 5, and 6.